Star Wars The Acolyte Episode 7. Can you believe that this show cost $180 million?
Found anything yet?
Nothing yet, sir!
How about you?
Not a thing, sir!
What about you guys? We ain't found shit!
Oh, this is so bad. Finally, The Acolyte Episode 7 dropped. There's only one episode left. Statistically speaking, percentage-wise, we're 87.5% of the way through with the show. And, you know, by the time it ends, it's probably going to be, unless there's a flashback scene in Episode 8, and I don't think that there will be, because they've revealed all the mystery now. We already know everything now. The final tally on the show is going to be 25% of this show. A quarter of the show will be on flashbacks. I mean, let's face it, Episode 7, if you watched it, you've already seen it. It was Episode 3. They literally made us relive some of the worst cringe moments from Episode 3. Me and the team here at the channel were watching it live and recording our reactions, and we were like, oh no, not again. There was like nothing good about this episode. I mean, I'm looking for a silver lining here. There was nothing. I mean, I guess seeing Kelnaka walk around with a metal detector was really funny. Like, we laughed really hard at that, especially when somebody said he's searching for the $180 million. Like, that was really good. But what happened in this episode? What was the big reveal? There really wasn't one. We already knew what was going to happen. Paul Tassi at Forbes gets it. And if you keep up with Star Wars in news media, you know that Paul Tassi is a shill of all shills. But even he writes, The Acolyte reveals its true villain at last in a stunning episode. And of course, he means Soul. That's exactly what we told you was going to happen. The Jedi are bad. They accomplished it right here in Episode 7. Soul literally kills Mother Anastasia, literally wants to take Osha away, literally has an emotional connection to her, wanted her for his own from the moment he laid eyes on her. I mean, it's grooming to the max. Think about last week's episode. The only people who were praising that were the people praising the sexual tension between characters, specifically the characters of Kamir and Osha. He's exiting the pool. He has no clothes on. She's looking at him, and she looks down at something. There's nothing for the weird Raylos to latch on to this one. This was a lackluster episode at best. I mean, even people who want to praise it can't praise it. Just look at this summary here. This is the end of the review at Games Radar. Quite frankly, it's an entire episode that probably could have been slimmed down to a much shorter flashback, interspersed with the far more interesting situations May and Osha find themselves in now. Now, look, I'll agree with that. It's way more interesting what's happening with Osha and Kamir right now than anything else. That would have avoided showing us the same events again from an ever so slightly different angle, and it would also mean Soul could have explained his own actions, fleshing out the weird, more rushed moments when the present is so fascinating. Spending an entire episode stuck in the past is a misjudgment. It almost feels like Leslye Headland had to deliver 8 episodes, and she totally ran out of ideas. She's got an idea, and she's like, just throw it all together. And here it is. And this is what you get at the end of that, because this is just flashback for really no reason. How about you put the flashback scene in the recap at the beginning of the episode? How about that? The recap was more interesting than 2/3 of this episode. We got 37 minutes of flashback here, and the only thing we really find out is that May accidentally lit the place on fire. And the worst cringe death scene of all time, the witches. We finally find out how they died. Master Carrie Ann Moss uses the Force to block the witch's spell enchantment on Kelnaka, and it killed them all. Yeah, I'm not making this up. Leslye Headland can talk about seasons 2, 3, and 4 all she wants to. There's no way we're ever going to get more Acolyte. This just didn't Star Wars bad. This is bad, like worst ever. Take Star Wars off of this. This is like, I can't even explain how bad this is. The name Star Wars is the only thing giving this thing any type of life. And the comments on social media are hilarious. The Jedi are evil. Leslye Headland got what she wanted. Bitch. Hashtag the Acolyte. Yup. Our boy Verbal Riot. This cost $180 million. Our brother Gary from Nerdrotic. An accurate take from Grace Randolph, who says, oh man, that was awful. Hashtag the Acolyte. Even Grace Randolph is not supporting that. Nerdrotic, the Jedi are bad, confirmed. We knew that was coming. Our friend Robot Head says the credibility of the Shield media, 83% critical review. How? How? It makes no sense because they're not being trustworthy. That's why. That's how it makes sense, actually. This proves to you that the media are shills and cannot be trusted. Lady Gravemaster says, I have graded 7th grade creative writing assignments with more plot, coherence, and creativity than this absolute dumpster fire of a Disney Star Wars show. Robot Head again, this is great. The witches died from using witchcraft. It's inexplicably bad. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Ooh, shots fired. Robot Head is on fire. Soul is way too interested in getting that girl for himself. Leslye Headland really writes from experience. Only one episode left, and we'll be putting the Acolyte to bed forever. Leslye Headland's Star Wars career is undoubtedly going to come to an end in a week. And what do Star Wars fans have to look forward to for the rest of the year? For the rest of the year. Skeleton Crew. Great job, Kathy Kennedy. You have written the guidebook on how to destroy a franchise. I cannot believe, of all the people that you have fired, all the people that Kathleen Kennedy has fired, from the writers to the directors to showrunners, everything, and she actually stamped this one approved. Let's make this Leslye Headland. You got this. You have got to be kidding me. This is so bad, it even takes away from the things that she produced back in the 80s. Like, that's how bad this is. People used to say Kathleen Kennedy deserves to be in the Hollywood Hall of Fame. Not anymore. Be sure to comment and let me know what you thought about the 7th episode of The Acolyte, the 2nd flashback episode. Wasn't it great? That was sarcasm. We are your Echo Base Network. May the thread be with you. See you on the next one.